Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native Echo Podcast, where we make English simple and enjoyable. I'm Harper, and today it's just me. No Julian, just you and me and a warm cup of coffee. Hello to all of our wonderful listeners, wherever you are in the world right now. So, let me tell you about my morning. I woke up, I made my coffee, I sat down at my desk, and I opened my laptop. And nothing happened. The screen stayed black. I pressed the button again. Nothing. And the first thing I said out loud, alone in my kitchen, was, "There is something wrong with my laptop." And then I stopped because I realized I just used one of the most natural English phrases we have. And it made me think about today's episode. Because today I want to talk about three little phrases. Three small patterns that native speakers use every single day. And once you learn them, you will hear them everywhere. The three patterns are these. Number one, how come? Number two, what are the chances of? And number three, there is something wrong with. Don't worry if they sound strange right now. By the end of this episode, they will feel like old friends. So relax, take a breath, and let's start slowly. Okay, let's begin with the first one. How come? This is such a beautiful little phrase because it's short, it's simple, and it sounds so natural. How come basically means why. That's it. When you want to ask why something happened, instead of saying why, you can say how come. But here is the interesting part, and this is important, so listen carefully. The grammar is different. When you use why, you change the word order. You say, "Why are you tired?" The verb comes before the subject. But when you use how come, you keep the normal order. You say, "How come you are tired?" Subject first, then verb, just like a normal sentence. Let me say that again, slowly, because this is the one thing people get wrong. With why, you say, "Why did you leave early?" With how come, you say, "How come you left early?" See the difference? After how come, the sentence sounds like a normal statement. You just put how come at the front. Let me give you some real examples from my own life. Last week, my friend didn't come to dinner, so I called her and I said, "How come you didn't come?" Not why you didn't come. How come you didn't come? It sounds soft. It sounds friendly. It sounds curious, not angry. Here's another one. My neighbor painted his door bright green, very bright. So I asked him, "How come you chose green?" He laughed and said he just liked it. And here's one more. My coffee tasted strange this morning, and I thought, "How come this tastes so bitter?" And then I remembered I forgot to add sugar. So you can use how come for big things and small things. How come you're so happy today? How come the shop is closed? How come nobody told me? It's warm, it's casual, and honestly, in everyday conversation, native speakers use it all the time, maybe even more than why. Now, let me be honest with you. How come is a little informal. So, in a very serious business email, maybe use why. But in normal conversation, with friends, with family, in a coffee shop, how come is perfect. It's the kind of English that makes you sound natural, not like a textbook. Let's do a quick practice. I'll give you a situation, and you try to make a how come question in your head. Ready? Situation 1. Your friend is wearing a jacket, but it's very hot outside. What do you ask? Maybe, "How come you're wearing a jacket?" Nice. Situation 2. Your favorite show got canceled. You might say, "How come they canceled it?" See? It's becoming easier already. Okay, let's move to the second pattern. And this one is a little more advanced, but it's so useful. What are the chances of? This phrase is about probability, about how likely something is. When you say, "What are the chances of?" you're asking, how possible is this? Is it likely or not? And here's the grammar part. After "what are the chances of," you usually use a verb with ing. So you say, "What are the chances of winning?" Not to win, winning. the verb plus ing. What are the chances of raining today? What are the chances of finding a parking spot? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine it's a cloudy morning. The sky is gray. You're about to leave the house and you look up and you think, what are the chances of it raining today? You're not sure. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. That feeling of maybe, that's exactly when you use this phrase. Now, there's something fun about this phrase. Sometimes we use it when something is very unlikely, very surprising. For example, last month I was traveling in a completely different city, far from home, and I saw an old school friend on the street. And I said, what are the chances of meeting you here? I meant, this is amazing. This almost never happens. The chances were so small, and yet it happened. So this phrase has two flavors. One, a real question about probability. What are the chances of getting tickets? You genuinely want to know. And two, a surprised expression. What are the chances of that happening? You're amazed. Both are correct. Both are natural. And the context tells the listener which one you mean. Let me give you a few more examples so it really sinks in. What are the chances of him saying yes? You're wondering if your idea will be accepted. What are the chances of the bus being on time? Maybe your bus is always late, so you're a little doubtful. What are the chances of us finishing this today? You're looking at a big pile of work, feeling unsure. And by the way, here's a little tip. In fast, casual speech, people sometimes drop the of and just say, what are the chances he says yes? But when you're learning, I recommend you keep the of and use the ing. What are the chances of him saying yes? It's cleaner, it's correct, and it will always sound right. Let me ask you something now, and this is my question for you today. Think about a time when something almost impossible happened to you. A big coincidence. Maybe you met someone unexpected. Maybe you found something you thought was lost forever. Have you ever had a what are the chances of that moment? I would love to know. If you're watching, tell me in the comments. Even one sentence in English is wonderful practice, and I read every single one. Okay, now let's go to the third and final pattern. And we already met this one at the beginning of the episode. There is something wrong with. Remember my black laptop screen? There is something wrong with my laptop. This phrase is your best friend when something is broken, when something is not working, or when something just feels off, not right. You use it, and then you add a noun. There is something wrong with my phone. There is something wrong with the car. There is something wrong with this coffee machine. The structure is very stable, very reliable. There is something wrong with, and then the thing, a noun. My phone, the heater, this app, the internet. You don't need to explain exactly what the problem is. That's the beauty of it. You're just saying, something is not right here, but I don't know exactly what. Let me tell you about my week, because honestly, it was a week of things going wrong. On Monday, my shower was cold, freezing cold. So I said, there is something wrong with the water heater. On Tuesday, my headphones only worked in one ear. There is something wrong with my headphones. On Wednesday, my plant looked sad and yellow, and I said, there is something wrong with this plant. By Thursday, I was starting to wonder if there was something wrong with my whole apartment. Now, here's a lovely detail. You can use this phrase for machines and objects, yes, but you can also use it for feelings and situations. For example, if your friend is very quiet, not their normal self, you can gently say, is there something wrong? You seem quiet today. Notice here we turn it into a question. Is there something wrong with you? But be careful. Is there something wrong with you can sound a little strong, a little critical, depending on your tone. So softer is better. Is everything okay? Is something wrong? And that brings up a nice point. You can make this phrase into a question very easily. Statement, there is something wrong with the printer. Question, is there something wrong with the printer? You just move is to the front. Simple. Let me also give you the opposite because it's useful. When everything is fine, you can say, there's nothing wrong with it. So if someone worries about your old phone, you can say, Relax. There's nothing wrong with it. It works perfectly. Nothing wrong. That's the positive version. So now we have all three. Let me connect them for you in one little story so you can hear them together naturally. Imagine this. I wake up and my alarm didn't go off. So I think, there is something wrong with my alarm. I rush to catch my bus, but the bus is late again. And I stand there thinking, what are the chances of the bus arriving in the next 5 minutes? Very low, honestly. And finally, my friend walks by, completely relaxed, no rush at all. And I ask her, how come you're not in a hurry? And she smiles and says, because today is Sunday. And I completely forgot it was Sunday. Did you hear how all three fit into normal life? That's the point. These aren't fancy phrases. They're the phrases of ordinary days. Broken alarms, late buses, and forgetting what day it is. All right, before we finish, let's do our little recap, our word tour. Let's go through the three patterns one more time, slowly, so they stay with you. Pattern 1. How come? It means why, but you keep the normal word order. How come you're late? Use it in friendly, casual conversation. Pattern 2. What are the chances of? This is about probability, plus a verb with ing. What are the chances of winning? Use it for real questions and also for big, surprising coincidences. Pattern 3. There is something wrong with. Add a noun. Use it when something is broken or not working. There is something wrong with my laptop. And the positive version? There's nothing wrong with it. 3 phrases. That's all for today. Small phrases, but they carry so much of everyday English. And here's my honest advice. Don't try to use all 3 today. Just pick one. Maybe how come? And this week, try to use it once in a real conversation, or even just in your head. That's how these patterns become natural, one small step at a time. Thank you so much for spending this quiet time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Native Echo Podcast and give it a like. It really helps more learners find us. And don't forget my question. Tell me in the comments about your what are the chances of that moment. I'm genuinely curious. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, there is nothing wrong with learning slowly. Slow is good. Slow is real. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself, and bye for now.